Hey now, welcome. Hello, welcome to the Physical Geography Lab course taught at Chabot College. My name is Jeffrey Miller, and I will be your instructor for this semester. This little video is meant to give you an overview of the uh, course itself. We'll talk about the syllabus, kind of cover what to do. Expect this would be sort of like the first day of class where we go over how the course works. So I'll spend some time looking at the syllabus and then a few more minutes kind of reviewing Canvas for those of you guys who are sort of new to online courses. Um, I want to make sure that I go through what you should know how to do and how to expect to be successful in this class. That is my goal for you guys. I really want you to be your best at this. So I'll begin by sharing my screen. And currently I am looking at Canvas. We are in the Geography 1L, L for lab course. This is a separate course from the lecture course, independent from that, although very much related. This is an independent course with independent units from the lecture course. When you log into Canvas, you're going to see the course laid out in a very kind of simple way. I don't put a whole bunch of extra trimmings on my courses, kind of give you the meat of it here with the course information. And then from there, every week is a different module. Your home page, your modules page, it's the same exact thing. So pretty straightforward. I'll come back and review this here in a second. Let's take a look at the syllabus to begin. So, as I mentioned, this is the Physical Geography Lab course, emphasis on the lab part. Yeah, you could take this at the same time as the lecture. I'm sure many of you are, or you take it afterwards. Well, like I said, related. You don't necessarily have to take the class with me in both lecture and lab, because it's not a complete one-to-one in terms of how the schedule plays out. Certainly, there are things that you learn in the lecture that are pretty similar in terms of timing wise, but it's not 100% that way, just letting you know. Okay, you can get in touch with me directly through my email here. You can also use Canvas, and there's a little messenger, like a messenger email on Canvas. That works as well. I try to get back to students during the week within a day or so. If you need anything, please reach out directly on the email. I'm not on campus. I don't have a phone number through the school, so email's the best way. And if you are needing or interested in meeting virtually, I'll skip right down to here, to actually have some face-to-face as best as we can over an online world. We can do that through an office hour. That's appointment only, though. I don't hold regular scheduled office hours anymore, only by appointment. So that doesn't mean that the appointments are limited. I kind of leave it open-ended. So it's up to you guys to reach out to me first and say, hey, I'd really like to schedule something with you. Don't expect to click on that link and me to be there. It's not going to happen just randomly. We need to sit and, schedule something ahead of time. But happy to do so. Really, I'm sure there might be points during the semester where you might get confused or stuck or just need help. Whatever the case, I'm happy to log in and provide you guidance, whether it's an hour or 30 minutes or 10 minutes, doesn't matter. Whatever the case is that you need, I am here to help you out. Okay. So that is on a as needed basis. Speaking of doing things virtually, this course is online, I'm sure, as you have recognized, and we are an asynchronous modality. Asynchronous means that we are teaching this course, I am delivering this course to you more or less at a self pace. So not completely that you could just kind of take it, all of it or some of it when you want. There is a schedule and a structure to the course. But in terms of actually doing the work week by week, that is up to you, your convenience and your time to figure out. So I don't have any regular Zoom meetings or Zoom classes that would kind of conventionally meet, every Wednesday at 6 p.m. or something like that. We don't do that here. This is 100% asynchronous. So, it's up to you to complete the work. By you completing the work, that's you attending class. Um, so it might feel a little bit different than what you're used to, but once you get kind of used to figuring this out, I'm sure you'll find it to be quite convenient. I am going to provide you the text. It's really kind of snippets or pieces of a digital lab book that I've acquired. So you don't have to buy anything. I will provide that to you every single week. So expect that to be kind of parsed out throughout the modules. It's not something I'm going to just give you one lump sum. I'll actually give you the chapters or the, you know, parts of the chapters that you need to work on every single week. So there's that. And yeah, just quickly talking about what is this course, right? So this is, like I said, related to physical geography, the lecture. That's all theory based, where this is more hands-on, as much hands-on as we can virtually. I try to give you guys assignments that whether you're using your hands and doing things like this or you're doing things on a computer, it's more exercise based. So we go over concepts relating to the physical world, right? So that could be things like navigation and coordinates, or the sun and the earth and timing, the time of day stuff. It could be stuff that's more computer based. So things like Google Earth and other types of maps that are, very much important in the geography world. You'll get a map heavy, I will tell you this now, this will be a kind of a map heavy course. I have a background in teaching and working with maps, digital maps. So for me, this comes kind of natural, and I think it's kind of a unique way to present um, some material that you may not have, had this type of experience before. Nothing that should be too daunting. Like I said, this isn't meant to be an advanced class or anything like that. I know that it's a kind of addition to the physical geography requirement that you have to take. But I hope that these tools will come in handy someday, and at least you'll get kind of some enjoyment or use out of them during the actual course itself. So I'm sure you all are aware Geography 1 taken either at the same time or you've taken it before. That's why you should be here. You have to have both to complete the requirement for general education for a university. And I'm going to kind of skip through these objectives and outcomes, more or less described a lot of that already. So let's keep going. You'll see kind of what we're looking at when I go through Canvas momentarily. Yeah, I mentioned it already, the attendance, that's something students are kind of all, curious about with this online environment, and I get it. The fact of the matter is, since we're asynchronous, I'm not going to be checking in on you, and I don't track your hours or anything like that. We'll just put it this way. Your completion of assignments, I said it once, I'll say it again. Your completion of assignments is you showing me that you're attending the class. So if you miss 3 weeks in a row or 4 weeks in a row or whatever it is, and you haven't let me know some emergency happened, or I don't know, whatever other life occurrence maybe caused you to miss those weeks, I'm going to assume you're not in the class. And if I'm required to drop you, which I am at the beginning of the class, I just will. So stay on top of the assignments every week. If something comes up where you've missed or you're gonna miss, you're gonna miss several weeks, please let me know in advance. And if it's kind of after the fact, certainly reach out and give me, some justification there. I'm a pretty easygoing person. I try to have a lot of compassion and understanding for what's going on in your life. And as long as you have a reasonable justification for what's going on, I'm happy to hear you out and give you second chances. Let's see. So Yeah, there are some lecture pieces to this, just to kind of give you some background. Um, like I said, this is not really a lecture course. That's what the other one is. However, I've pulled little clips from some of the lecture course to help guide you through how to get through some of these labs, or just so that you know, why am I working on this? You know, why am I working on this, and what is the background of a, coordinate transformation or something like this? Anyways, that stuff is all pre-recorded. Like I said, we don't do regular Zooms, so I'm not on a weekly basis lecturing to you. I've already recorded several videos and they're on YouTube, and each week I have them, posted via links in the modules. So it's up to you to run through the modules, watch each video, or read each piece of material that I provide, and use those to, get you through this class. Okay. So how to get through the class. So each module consists of brief tutorials. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4 tutorials, depending on the lab itself, what I'm asking you. Each tutorial is, maybe 3 minutes at minimum to maybe 15 minutes at maximum. They're relatively short, and you should be able to get through them. You probably have to watch them back a couple times. That's obviously normal. But yeah, I didn't try to make this, several hours of computation you have to work through. Now you will complete the assigned lab problems from, like I said, the lab manual that I'm going to provide for you. Okay. And then I will post those materials, like I said, on Canvas. If you feel it beneficial to print the material out, great. There's certainly value to having a pencil and paper and writing down your answers, and kind of checking your work that way. I mean, when I was kind of going through these labs, I did it myself. So I do recommend you do that. I don't require it because I don't check on you, and I don't actually hand you physical paper. So it's kind of up to you, if that makes sense, or is something that is, helpful. Um, with that being said, though, your work is submitted, since we're far apart, and in the online environment, your work is submitted on Canvas. Um, so there are some labs that I actually do want you to print out and sketch out, that are necessary. Some are kind of up to you. In those instances, you will submit scan a paper, take a picture of it, and submit it on Canvas. And then there are other instances, though, where your lab, let's see, workout problems. The majority of the lab work submitted via quizzes on Canvas. So I'll share that with you in a second. That way you don't have to actually submit, like an email, something that's on paper or scanned or whatever. But essentially by submitting your quizzes, that's you, doing the work. That's you doing the work. Okay. Cover this stuff in a little bit more detail when I get to Canvas here momentarily. Your exams. There are 2 exams in this class, okay? 2 midterms. They're very similar. They're, again, proctored on Canvas. So you take them directly on Canvas. You have a week to finish them, like a week's window where I should back that up. I shouldn't say you have a week to finish them. There's a week of when the window opens that it's available, to when it's not available to you anymore. I believe it's 3 hours. Once you actually go in and click and say start the exam, I believe you have 3 hours to finish the assignment itself. So that's a start the clock when you click go, and then it runs. And so yeah, 2 of those, and you'll see them kind of spaced out through the course. The exams will be based on the kind of lab practice, the types of questions you've worked on for the previous weeks or months. And yeah, those will be up to you. Those are worth big points. Let's see. And then, yeah, so 2 of those. Now, I don't have a final exam. What I've done more recently is kind of wrap this course up with some of the mapping or map related labs, which are a bit more technical in nature. So I want to give you guys some extra time and weight to completing those labs at the end of the course. There's going to be 3 of those mapping labs. I'll give you guys introduction to some different software that you probably haven't experienced yet that's used in a mapping industry, and it'll be different. You'll get a chance to go out with your phone on an app and collect real map data in like on location. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely give you a little bit more information when we get there, but that's, like I said, kind of tail end of the course. So that's how we wrap things up. Yeah, so breakdown of your grades, exams, and map labs are worth more. So there's your total. Grades are pretty straightforward as far as, how I divvy them out. There's no particular weight to them other than what's kind of already posted there, but I don't curve grades or anything like this. So what you earn on Canvas is what your final grade will end up, being posted as. So that should be helpful. I remember as a student, it would be so frustrating to look on Canvas and see my um, grade calculated out based on the assignments that I've worked on, and then not knowing exactly where I stand because the teacher has some other way of curving or weighting grades. What you see on Canvas, as far as the percentage that you've earned, points earned versus points allowed, is gonna end up being what your grade turns into, okay, at the end of this. If you have special needs or in emergencies or anything like that, please, and you're already working with DSRC, just reach out to me privately and I'll make sure to help you and accommodate if you need extra time for things or extra resources. Kind of moving through here, obviously cheating. If I see duplicate type of answers, that will be, red flag to me, and I'll have to report that kind of stuff. I trust everybody. This is an online environment, so there's a lot more kind of levels of trust since you're more independent in your working space. So let's just do the right thing, be grown-ups, and everybody be okay. Yeah, programs, special programs, there's lots of stuff available, so I post that stuff so you have it at your leisure. Moving out from here, okay, let's take a moment and go back to Canvas. Ready-go. So here we are on the homepage again, and as I was mentioning, we have the modules. Let me actually collapse this. We have modules posted, several dozen of them, I guess a dozen or so modules for you to work through for the remainder of the course. Now, to be specific, if you're in my lecture course, this is going to look similar. That's just how I lay things out and works for me. So hopefully it works for you. What I've done, each module starts on a Monday, specific Monday, right? They're usually the following Mondays. I've given you guys 2 weeks in this first start of class. So class started on the 29th technically, and I've actually given you 2 weeks to finish the lab here. Actually, technically it's a quiz, but this quiz is based on the information from this lab materials. But I'll come back to that in a second. Just want to quickly, again, reiterate every Monday is the start of a module, and you'll see each one of these dates kind of highlighting what to look forward to. The topic here. And so I guess in total we have 1, 2, 3, 10 labs total. 10 labs total, when you include the final. All right, so yeah, let's take a look at lab 1 for a second. So how to walk through this, okay? Go from top to bottom. That's my recommendation. So what's the lessons and objectives? If we click in here, I'll give you a little quick synopsis about what to expect in this particular lab. What's the subject matter going to be about? And look at this. So note, the quiz questions in this lab only come from pages 11 and 12. Work on the previous page is meant to help you practice. So, really review this kind of stuff. So sometimes there's nuggets in here that if you skip past, you might work through those first 10 pages and spend like hours and hours and hours on it and, you know, think this is the worst thing in the world. Yes, you could practice with those pages, but like in this instance, you're only going to be required to submit the work from pages 11 and 12. You'll see something like this every single module at the beginning to kind of introduce you to what's going to happen and set the bar there. Now, each one of these links, I put different links. Sometimes there's 2, sometimes there's 3, sometimes there's 5. Just depends on the subject matter and the type of lab itself it is. So like, for example, here's one that's about, the latitude longitude theory is what we have here. If I click on this, it will give me the opportunity to open this in, here we go, on YouTube. So you'll see my YouTube video here and gives you some context about latitude and longitude. Sometimes there's theory behind the lab, sometimes there's not. Again, this is not the lecture course, so I tried to limit that stuff as much as possible, but I just want to make sure you guys kind of understand what it is that you're actually doing. Now, these other videos, like here, adding and subtracting coordinates, converting decimals, these are tutorials. So like, for example, if I click on this, we have a 6-minute tutorial, and I'm showing you guys the page 11 from the lab material, from the lab book. And I'm going to walk through how to do one of these, maybe 1 or 2 of these problems. Okay. So this is meant to guide you through how to do this type of work. And each lab, I'll have something similar posted so that you have, the information available and, know what to do. We go back. Okay, so what you're going to reference for lab 1 in this instance is going to be this PDF. And you'll see it, each one of them has their own PDF kind of at the end of the labs, right? PDF, PDF, PDF. So this is what I was saying in terms of like if you want to print this material out and write on it with a pencil. I'd recommend that. You don't have to, but it's up to, it's something I think is valuable. As we scroll through, as I mentioned, like in this first example, this is all practice and theory to kind of help you out. Once you get down to page 8, 9, 10, once you get down to page 11, this is where the money really counts. Okay, page 11 and page 12. Okay, in this example, sometimes there'll be shorter, bits that I provide to you. Sometimes they'll be longer. It really just depends. You have to kind of read what's out there in the lessons page. So like in this example, you're going to work through each one of these problems, okay? And like I said, note the answers as you're working through them. Like have that written down somewhere, okay? Once you've gone through and you've worked through all of the problems, you're not going to submit the paper to me. What you're going to do is you're going to go in, instead of submitting the paper, you're going to come here to quiz 1, and you're going to say, start the quiz. So in this instance, these will be the identical questions from pages 11 and 12. So that's why I say work through the problems first on paper so that you actually have all the answers figured out ahead of time. And then you'll go into the quiz, you'll see the exact same type of questions with the same in this example formula, not formulas, yeah, questions, right? Calculations, and it should be already familiar to you since you've worked through the example itself. This is how you submit the work, I guess, is my, I'm trying to say to you. By you submitting your quiz with the answers that you worked out on your paper, and then you get to choose which answers are out there in the quiz format, that's you doing the lab. Okay, that's you telling me, hey, I did it, I finished it, I'm done for this week. I'm done for this module. Cool. All right, great to go. Good to go, right? That's how this is going to work. So there are several labs, several modules that are similar to this one I just explained. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 are certainly like this. You'll get to labs 5 and 6, which are ones where you have to submit a paper. And you just submit that here on Canvas. Don't email me. That is redundant. Just submit it here on Canvas. Okay. Same with lab 6. You'll see that here. Now, your exams are here. Midterm exam, it's the same type of thing, right? So it's going to be a quiz type of environment, and you will have, this will be different though. This will be different in terms of the questions will be ones that you haven't seen before. It'll be the same type of content or the same type of you know things that you've already learned in the past, but a fresh set of questions. So this will be, up to test you to see, can you do this in real time? Now, obviously, as you're going through the exam, I would recommend you write stuff down before you just submit answers. That's how I would do it. Okay, and so that's the trick. Yeah, each week, just make sure you're doing your assignments as posted. Once you get down to the end, you'll see kind of end of April through May. That's where we hit a bunch of the mapping related labs, and those should be pretty fun for you. I'm not going to say that, I won't say that they're going to be easy. Some of this stuff might be challenging, especially when you get into some of the sketching out contours and some of the digital stuff. If you have some computer literacy challenges, that's okay. Reach out to me and I'm happy to help you, whether it's like logging in to the software I ask you to use, or just stuff like that. Might be simple stuff, but don't rack your brain for hours and hours on this. Reach out to me if you really get stuck. I'm happy to help you out and guide you through this. Okay. Should be a good semester. I hope everybody does well. I hope you enjoy this material. I hope you take away some valuable lessons from it. And yeah, if you need anything, I hope to hear from you. Good luck this semester. I hope everything goes well. All right. Till next time. Bye for now. Have a good day.